Hello, today we'll be talking about how America changed during the 19th century. During the 19th century, many changes happened that affected the country. One of these was the sudden economic changes, including the uprising of big business. Suddenly, men can get extremely rich by buying up competition and making it so they control their field through trust, a board of company owned by one person or party. With these large companies, millionaires were made, while their workers usually did not make much money. The whole families, even the kids, had to work to make enough money for the family to survive. They had to work in horrible conditions where they could be hurt or even killed. Eventually, labor unions tried to improve conditions for workers. New York introduced new labor laws to improve conditions for workers. Wages were increased. Trusts were broken up by Theodore Roosevelt to make it so competition made fairer prices, and child labor was eventually outlawed. This wasn't the only change around this time. Another change around this time was the geographic changes happening. Farmers were pushing into the previously thought unfarmable Great Plains and mining the West with scarring mountains. John Muir influenced President Roosevelt to make national parks and protect the environment. President Roosevelt doubled the amount of national parks and outlawed logging and ranching in these national parks. Political changes were being made as well. For a time, party bosses, or men who paid money to rig elections and other things in their favor, like court cases. Progressive reformers, led by Robert Lafayette, who beat the political machine to become governor of Wisconsin, fought to put power back into the hands of the people. Direct primaries were made so voters chose candidates, initiative to allow voters to start laws by popular vote, and recall to allow voters to remove elected officials from office. Lastly is the social changes. African Americans, led by W.E.B. Du Bois, formed the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People as a civil rights group. Upton Sinclair and his muckrakers wrote about the truth about things like big business and certain fields, like Upton Sinclair's book The Jungle about meatpacking, and Niles Paul and her suffragettes fought for women's rights and votes. Throughout this time, many changes happened in our country and society. However, all of these changes were for the better.